It is Wednesday, everybody. My name is Dean, and today I got a special guest today. Aslor, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, what's up? I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So today, Aslor is joining me for the patch rundown for 13.10. Tyler is taking care of some family issues, and I wish him the best, and he'll be back soon enough. And so yeah, Aslor is going to help me out with the patch notes. Now, I know we went over a lot of these changes on a previous episode like a week or two ago. A few things got changed, more or less are the same, but I think it would be fun to get Aslor's opinion on some of the changes, what he thinks is going to be OP, what's not going to be OP. Bit of a spoiler, a lot of shit is OP. There are no nerfs on this patch, which is pretty nuts.
My god, I didn't even notice that. That's true.
It's just buffs and new. I mean, I guess you could argue there are some items that got adjusted or nerfed or whatever, but yeah, we'll see what we think when we get to that. But before, as always, like shouting out the YouTube channel, guys, come over to According to Low Elo. Go ahead and search that in the search bar and hit the sub button. We put up a gameplay video. I don't know if you watched it, but you're in this video, Aslor.
I did, yes, I did see that.
It's so fucking fun. It was a good game. Just a lot of going forward with the Rammus, Zillion, Garen, zooming. So that was a fun game. Make sure you guys come over here and check it out. Check out all the shorts too, and let us know how we're doing over here. So I appreciate it. All right, 13.10. So I got that. I'll make my video a little smaller. There we go. So you said you briefly looked over this let's start with this question. When patch notes come out, do you like hardcore run through them and read them, or do you just say fuck it and play your games and figure it out?
I hardcore go through and read them. I love numbers and notes.
Right. There are times though, like some of the numbers are so like minute, and me and Tyler a lot of times are like, what the fuck is the point of like reducing base AD from like 3 to 2.7? So
Yeah.
That shit I just don't understand. But
Like like that last Jinx nerf where she lost a whole 4 AD at level 18.
God.
What a nerf that was.
Oof. Crazy. It's crazy. Big numbers coming from Riot. But yeah, we this is the 80 patch. I know there's a lot of other items that are getting buffed, but this is mainly to focus on ADCs. Do you think ADCs are like in a good spot at this moment?
I think for competitive play, I think AD carry is in a great spot. Solo queue, it's always kind of a little weird because as an AD carry, you're a little dependent on your team for a while.
Yeah.
But if you're playing with like your friends and people you trust, AD carry is definitely one of the best roles in the game, bar none.
Yeah, I don't trust a lot of people when I play my fucking games because I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with this fucking game, and my teammates like 90% of the time are just a bunch of apes, donkeys. So I feel like this is going to piss off a lot of people. Like, I feel like tanks are going to feel a lot fucking... Well, let's get into it, because I know there's a few tank items that are getting, like, basically getting nerfed. This says adjusted, but they're getting nerfed. So, first thing I do want to also say that isn't mentioned here. I don't think... Usually, they'll blurb at the top. This patch is getting pushed back a day. So, usually, they come out on a Wednesday. Riot said that this patch is coming out Thursday on the 18th, not the 17th. So, we're recording this on the 16th. It is not coming out for another 2 days. Why? I have no idea. I don't know if they're still having like issues with servers, because this past weekend, was this Friday or Saturday where their ranked servers or the whole servers just took a shit.
Yeah, I think it was
play.
Friday like night, even tonight. I tried to play a couple games, just did not go through. I heard some people were having issues Saturdays. I didn't see any at the time because I wasn't playing, but it probably was happening.
It was, yeah, I believe it. I mean, man, I wish there was multiple servers in NA. Because I'm tired of playing on like 60 ping, but
yes, really need that.
That's a discussion for another time. So let's check it out. All right, let's move on down. So what me and Tyler usually do is we kind of alternate between each point. So like each champion will go back and forth. Now the champions here we definitely already touched on, but I want to get your opinion on a few of these. So
sure,
we're starting with Action. I say Action. So they're adding a lot of AP ratios to these champions. Now, obviously, Akshan is a solo laner champion, but like, so let's see. It says passive AP ratio added to damage, shield decreased, Q AP ratio added to bonus movement speed. So the his passive, the Dirty Fighting, which I'm assuming is the like 3-hit. Okay, this is the third stack. The base damage was 10 to 165 based on level. It's the same base, but now it's getting a 60% AP ratio. The shield value is going down, which I think is like, is that when you cancel your auto or something, or it's just like one auto attack and you move, and one auto attack and move? I don't play a lot of action.
So you get a shield on that third hit passive when you play Akshan.
Okay, so that makes it. That champion is so fucking overloaded. What the hell?
Honestly.
Like, why does he need... Okay, whatever. Okay, so the shield is going down. Scaling not... Let's see. So it is 40 to 280 with 35% bonus AD. And then scaling linearly with champion level. Now it is 40 to 280 plus 35% bonus AD. Scaling non-linearly, mirroring base stat growth. This is functionally about a 10% shield reduction for early and mid game. Okay, that's fine. And then finally, the Q Avenger Ring bonus movement speed is scaling now. It was 40. Now it is 40 plus 5% per 100 AP. There is going to be a lot of hybrid champions popping off this patch. So I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess when we get to Rageblade, because Rageblade I feel like is the big, like, it's going to be pumping a lot of hybrid damage coming out. So I don't know. How do you feel? I don't see many Uctions. Do you see them?
I've played against a number of them by now, and I think the most average build are things along the lines of Shieldbow, Rageblade, Bloodthirst King, and like a last per item.
Okay.
You know, I don't really see the AP ratios being a huge change for the champion like off the bat, and I highly doubt we're getting any kind of full AP 80 carries. I hope, you know, except for maybe Varus, but he's a special case.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, these are just buffs, though.
Right. No, yeah, I mean, just adding more fucking damage into the game. It's great. Here, why don't you read about Kalista here?
Kalista. Well, Kalista's actually one of my all-time favorite champions. I used to play her a lot way back when she still had the 100% scaling on her auto attacks.
Holy fuck.
I think it's like 90, 90.
Yeah,
it's
like
not now.
Yeah.
So her slow is going from 10 to 42% to 10 to 42% plus 5% per 5% per 100 AP. The physical damage scales with AP now. That's actually very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a little scary when you get physical damage scaling with magic with AP. And then the additional stack damage is fully the same, but it's just with an extra 20% AP ratio. And again, this is just a buff to Kalista. I don't think anything will really happen with her. The champion is extremely difficult, and she's not very popular. This looks like a much more pro play focused kind of buff, and she may be popping up here and there again. Because her build already includes Rageblade. Most of the time, she doesn't really go crit. She's more of an on-hit AD.
Yeah, I am horrible with her passive. The is it martial pose or whatever it's called, where she
something like
jump?
That. Yeah.
I hate. Jump I suck ass.
There's a little trick to it. If you just A-click on the ground, you'll just jump towards where you're A-clicking.
Oh, okay. Is it like A and then target champions only? If you have that selected?
Yeah. You don't have to target champions only necessarily, but you can just A-click and you'll be moving.
Got it. Okay. That's good to know. Okay. Not that I'm playing Kalista anytime soon, but... so let's see. Moving on to Kindred. WAP ratio added. EAP ratio added. Sick. So see, Wolf's Frenzy, the magic damage was 25 to 45 plus 20% bonus AD plus 1.5 plus 1% per mark of the target's current health. It is keeping the same base, the same AD ratio, and the stack target current health damage ratio, but they're adding a nice 20% AP on top of that. And then Mounting Dread, the slow was base 50. Now it is 50 scaling with 5% per 100 AP. Oh man, I don't know. This is like... It feels like these are like, oh, these are all the Rageblade champions. Though I don't think I've... Do you think... Because I know Kindred... Well, it's difficult. Because when we get to items, like Kraken Slayer isn't a mythic anymore.
Right.
Shieldbow is not a mythic anymore. So we're going to be seeing some, like... I just feel like they're forcing this champion to build Rageblade. You know, but
I would agree, because nowadays most Kindreds that I've seen don't really go Rageblade. They go either fully crit or mostly crit with like a Black Cleaver, maybe like a Wit's End or something along the lines of that, but mainly crit damage is the focus of Kindred players as far as I've seen.
Even
So,
if you think with the 20% ratio,
right,
especially on the
that's the
slow.
thing. Right, so that's the thing, is that with these changes, maybe they'll become more on-hit focused type of character, but I think that also this opens up Kindred to being able to play into, full armored comps or, champions
That's
that will
true.
build a lot of armor. Right, so this does allow a little bit of flexibility in the champion where she can either go the full crit, she can go the on hit. You have the option to do either or here, which is, kind of nice. I still don't
It
like
is.
seeing this champion though. This champion spooks me whenever I play the game.
It's OP, like OP or what?
Yeah, a good Kindred player will take over the whole game in about 7 to 8 minutes.
Yeah, very very scary. All right, moving on to Nico. Tell me about Nico, because I played a few games of Nico and it was okay, but apparently they don't think her jungle is strong enough, so they're buffing it here. So let me know what they're doing.
So it looks like they're adding Q bonus damage to monsters are going up, about 5 per rank. Her passive, the third auto attack on her W is going to be giving an extra 25 damage. And her ulti is just getting a 20% AP ratio, which is just a flat buff to either mid Nico or jungle Nico. Realistically, I don't think jungle Nico was that bad from what I had seen. I've only played against it a couple times and I haven't gotten the chance to play it myself. But her clear seemed fine. She has pretty good gank setup. She's not like a top tier jungler currently, but she's not bad. She's kind of like a quirky fun pick, an off meta jungler.
I've seen some crazy like jungle clear strats where like at level 1 before you take your buff, you copy a ranged minion because their attack speed is a lot higher than her base attack speed. So then you take your W, so you get that third auto attack, and you just like melt your level, like whatever respective buff you're doing. And then if you hit level 3, just copy another fucking minion and just like I promise you, in these low elo games, no one is paying attention if there's a fucking extra minion coming down lane. They don't know that. If they do, that's very surprising. But like, you just catch people off guard. Like, oh, I'm just disguising myself as a fucking a melee minion, and then all of a sudden just throwing an E in their face and stunning them, rooting them, and boop, bye. It's low key OP. I do like the change that they did to her though, because it definitely fits more of the fantasy. It just felt like very limited when they to how she was prior, where it was just only champions she could become.
I agree. I love the changes. I think it's really fun, and it definitely adds an extra element to the game.
All right, and then finally, Fein. This one was probably the biggest change, because when we went over the previous episode where we talked about these changes, the AP ratio on Vayne was on her silver bolts, which was fucking stupid. Because I was seeing videos of like full AP on PBE, at least, like Rageblade, Nashers, just discussing amounts of AP and like her silver bolts, because it was like 1.5% extra max percent true damage, and if you get like 300 AP, that's a lot of true damage. But they shifted it to her Q, the tumble. So the Q, and they just buffed the tumble a few patches ago.
They did, yeah. And the new build that popped up around then, where you rush Essence Reaver and go full crit with Q max, and it was pretty okay. I tested it out myself. It was overall, pretty good to like squish your team comps.
So now we're getting that 50% AP. Woo!
I think again, this is just a flat buff to Vayne, who already really likes building Rageblade in 2 out of her 3 main builds. And then there's also I don't know if you may have seen it, the Riftmaker Vayne build.
Was that you talking about that a while ago?
It probably was. I love that build. It's not good, but it's just so fun. And I think with this 50% AP ratio, it's gonna be just a nice little extra added benefit for me whenever I play that.
Well, do you think you'd rather go Riftmaker over new Rageblade? Because Rageblade is a mythic now.
Right, Rageblade is a mythic. Darn, that sucks. I can't do both now. Well, I guess then I'd probably just be building the standard Rageblade into like Bork perhaps, or Bork Rageblade, some kind of mix of on-hit items for Vayne. It's hard to exactly say like what will be the most efficient build. Probably Blade first, and then Rage Blade, I would assume. Because Vayne's laning is just one of the weakest out of all AD carries. Having the extra lifesteal from Blade King helps out a lot.
Right. All right, cool. So that is the champions. Those are the only champions. Woo. Let's move on to the items. So I kind of want to go, like I said, go through this a little bit quicker because we don't really need to talk about it too much, but I'd like to get your opinion on like everything we go through. So Bloodthirster no longer gives that shield when you're at 100%. The lifesteal is going up by 3%, but now while above 50% HP, gain an additional 10 to 40 attack damage based on level. I think I want to say that the 10, it doesn't like click in until, oh fuck, I wish they would tell me here. It says based on level, but sometimes they're like, oh, starting at level 9 it goes up. But I guess for this I'll just assume this is levels 1 through 18.
Yeah, I would assume the same.
How did you feel about 95 AD on an item when you're at full HP?
I've never seen a more Draven item in my entire life.
Dude. Like, fuck the shield. Give me 40 extra AD. Like, I mean, okay, how much is a BF sword? Is a BF sword 40 AD?
1300. Yeah, it's a 40 AD on the BF sword.
So you're getting an extra at level 18, 1500 extra gold for free.
Yeah, 1300. Yeah, but I do love this change. I do love this change overall, though. I think the current Bloodthirster is really toxic. When you add the Bloodthirster shield plus Overheal shield, 80 carries are walking around with like 500, 600 HP shields, not even including like a Mountain Dragon or anything ridiculous like that.
If you have a support like a Lulu or something that's sitting on top of you, the shields are... I've seen like a lot of like Aphelios builds where they have like a 500, 600 point shield, and it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, just you have to kill somebody, and you couldn't kill an AD carry easily when they had a maxed out shield with Overheal and an Enchanter.
Yeah. Okay. So we're liking this though. Do you think it's rush worthy?
I think only for Draven's probably rush worthy. It's probably not bad to rush in other AD carries. Maybe if you're up against like a poke bot lane or an AP bot lane, you can probably just rush a BT and just sit there and get the farm. But I don't think it's like insane damage compared to well when we get to Infinity Edge, the changes to that.
Right. Cool. All right, moving on to Galeforce. So Galeforce is the only remaining mythic. Like I said, Kraken and Shieldbow are becoming legendary. So this is the only remaining mythic. All the other ones were swapped legendary to mythics. So the item recipe is changing too. Noon Quiver is no longer an item that builds into a mythic. So they're replacing that. So no more Noon Quiver. I like that item too, but I feel like a lot of people are going to get confused because dumb motherfuckers don't read patch notes and they should be listening to this episode. If you're wanting to build your mythic, do not purchase Noon Quiver. So it's BF Sword, Zeal, and Longsword. AD is going down by 5. Attack speed is going down by 5%. Crit chance is the same, but now you're flat out getting 7% bonus movement speed, whereas prior the mythic passive, right, was the movement speed. It was like 2% movement speed per legendary.
Currently it's the move speed.
Okay. So this is absolutely, you're going, if you need mobility, if you're a Caitlyn, if you're a Jinx, like if you need to, I mean, obviously it's going to depend. Well, I guess you could go Galeforce Kraken now. So if you need, Kraken got changed. I'm getting ahead of myself. I keep fucking forgetting. So much shit is changing. So 7% bonus movement speed, flat. And then the mythic passive now is just a standard 580. I like this. I'm fine with it taking small nerfs because this is the, like, not damage item. This is the mobility. I needed to fuck her away. The 7% movement speed feels fat.
Yeah, movement speed is like one of the most underrated things in this game. I love bonus move speed whenever getting it. Like I've been playing a lot with the new updated Cosmic Drive on like Victor and Vlad.
Bro, that item is fucking sick.
Yeah.
I think really, and the other thing I wanted to just quickly mention, plus up to, did they change the? I thought they changed the damage to magic damage, or was it magic damage? Now it's physical. Let me actually bring that up because that might be important.
Actually, I think it was magic damage. I'm not sure offhand, but you might be right.
Sorry, I interrupted you. So continue on your point.
I'm gonna be honest. As much as I like this item, I don't think a lot of AD carries are going to build it, and not because it's a bad item. It's a good item. I think that we just have such massive egos that nobody want to give up damage for safety.
Right.
And I think the other crit mythic items look a lot better than Galeforce in most of the time. Unless you desperately need mobility, then it's fine. But everybody will just want to do more damage when possible, and that's kind of the point of the AD carry role, is to just put out as much DPS as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, while it's not a bad item by no means, I just don't think it'll be very popular in the upcoming patch.
So do you think it'll get hotfixed, like buffed?
Maybe not hotfix, but small buffs. I think they could buff the 80 back to 60. They could probably keep the attack speed at 20. Like, it wasn't really that bad.
So
I think it will need a buff compared to, though.
Right. It's I feel like it is the weakest, and we'll get there. But so I went to the LoL wiki, but I guess they update whenever the PBE notes come out. But I'm pretty sure it was. I don't think it also. Okay, it definitely was magic damage because it did not scale with crit chance. So it does 150 to 350 plus up to 250 based on critical strike chance. I'm assuming the 250 is when you have 100% crit. You're getting the maximum damage. Physical damage to lowest health enemy, prioritizing champions. I definitely do not remember it scaling with crit chance. So that's probably the big thing. So you're gonna be hitting a little bit harder if you're going full on crit.
So just to make sure, let me open up my client because I did have it
Oh
closed,
yeah,
I
didn't even think about that.
I could just check the item right there. Let's see here.
Because that's actually not too bad. I mean, granted, that's a 90-second cooldown still. Very long time.
One day we'll get a faster loading clients.
Right, this client sucks ass. No, but definitely the worst. I personally think it'll buffed, or hotfixed. I've usually they're kind of trigger happy on the hot buffs or hot fixes though, because they'll like look at data for like a day, and then like, oh, no one's building this fucking item. Did you happen to find it yet?
I'm gonna have to just like load up the practice tool and check it.
Hold on, let me see really quick. Items.
I just looked in the item thing and it didn't give me the full information on it, so I'll just pull it up in the game itself.
Oof. Alright, I'm gonna move on because Typhoon is the Orin upgrade. Now, there are a few items where I'm like, in particular, that I feel like Orin might just come back because the fucking upgrades on some of these items are nuts.
Yeah, I love having an Orin in my team. Nothing makes me happier.
I said this a while ago on a previous episode. Orin is so fucking overpowered. The amount of gold he can give himself and your team is pretty insane.
Real quick, I have it up here.
Okay.
So currently it does 180 to 315 plus 45% of your bonus AD, and it does magic damage.
Got it. But it didn't scale with crit, right?
But it did not scale with crit.
Okay, so it's fully AD or physical damage now. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool. That's good to know. So
what's into the next item?
I'll say yeah. So Orin Typhoon is the upgrade. Of course, it's getting a small nerf to match what it is. So it's 70, 80, 30% attack speed, but the bonus movement speed is going from 7% to 9%. So you're gonna be a little bit quicker.
It's not a nice little buff. Again, still like nothing as crazy compared to some of the other Orin items currently available and will be available, but something.
All right, moving on to Ginsu's Rage Blade. Now, this was the one I'm really excited about because, like I said, a lot of these champions that we mentioned earlier are getting AP ratios, and they kind of like did a small revert because I remember the original Rage Blade where it did like a mini when you fully stacked it, had like a Tiamat passive. Do you remember that?
I remember, yeah. And then I don't know if you're watching Pro at the time, but Stixay's Tristana would build Rage Blade every game.
Was that the MSI or not the MSI? Was that the Madison Square Garden finals?
It was, yeah. No, it was that was season. What? I want to say it was.
It had to have been the next year because that's when Double Lift was 2016, and then Stixay came in. Okay.
2017.
But yeah, that was legendary. So yeah, it is a mythic now. The cost, of course, is going up. Makes sense. It is giving 30 AD. Or the recipe actually. Rage knife, an amp tone rage knife pickaxe 690. I really do not like that they're doing these items in alphabetical order, but rage knife is like all the way fucking down here. So I'm just quickly scrolling down to look at this so I can. So the rage knife is like a mini Ginsu's. It is 25% attack speed, and then it grants 20 magic damage on hit. And then the passive is attacks grant 5% attack speed, stacking up to 3 times for 15% attack speed. And then we go back to the Rage Blade. So Rage Blade is 30 AD, 30 AP, 25% attack speed, that is going down from 45. But then the Wrath attacks apply 30 magic damage on hit, convert your critical strike chance into up to 150% more. So if you have 100% crit, or close to probably 80, because this doesn't give crit anymore itself.
Correct, yeah.
And then the basic attacks grant 8% per stack up to 4 times, a max of 32% attack speed. So, I mean, I know the attack speed doesn't, percentages don't add, like, is it linearly? Like, it's like the percentages add weird, but it's definitely going to be better than 45% of what it was.
So,
and then, go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when you buy attack speed, it's based off of your current base amount of attack speed.
Right, so it was like 0.90 times 0.45, whatever that is, you add that to the 0.90.
Right.
So I mean, it's still going to be a fat amount.
Oh, absolutely.
And then every third attack applies on hit effects twice, and then the mythic passive, which this passive feels a little bit OP. You get 5% armor pen and 6% magic pen per legendary. So, 5 if you have boots, so then 4 legendaries. So 20% armor pen and then 24% magic pen. I'm scared to death of like a Katarina building this. For some reason, I feel like Katarina will be able to build this.
And that champion could just build anything nowadays, huh?
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And she's just unkillable, because I know like now there's the Sunderer build. She also benefits from getting attack speed. So I mean, as long as you can get those stacks, and then the on hit effect, it's stupid. I am scared to death. But there's the champions. I think you mentioned like Varus is going to be really good with this. Kog'Maw, I feel like, is going to be a menace.
Yeah, Kog'Maw is definitely a big one.
Kayle too. A lot of the hybrid champions, I feel like Kayle is going to be really OP. And then we mentioned Fein, of course.
Yeah. I will say that it's passive though. For most of the champions I expect this item to be built on, is not too scary, because I think the more armor pen you have, it's better when you have a lot of AD. And if you're building items like a Rage Blade, you're probably getting those lower AD or lower AP on hit based items.
Sure. That's fair.
Of course, the main thing is always going to be the insane amount of attack speed and proccing your on hits twice.
Mm-hmm.
This item does look crazy strong upcoming this next patch, though. I will say that much.
Let me Kog'Maw is just like, whenever I think of Rage Blade, I just think of Kog'Maw, because like his W. Let me just read his bio. Arcane Barrage. So like, so it is 3.5 to 6.5% plus an additional percent per 100 AP. So you're gonna get that stacked. I mean, it's gonna be hitting that twice when it's maxed out. You max this ability first, right?
Yes.
Could you just imagine like Ginsu's, Nashor's Tooth, just additional AP, and just, oh my god, I'm terrified of Kog'Maw, and I feel like this might be a champion that might just get nerfed, because I feel like it's just gonna overperform.
Yeah,
I think be busted.
I think one of the low key winners of this item that no one's really I've seen no one mention it is Zeri. Zeri is a champion that loves attack speed, and she does mixed damage when she ults, right? She's doing physical and magic damage, so that passive will actually matter for her. And she does build mostly big AD items outside of, well, just in general, that's currently what she builds. It's just big AD items. So, maybe it matters enough for that she will get the Infinity Edge or the Quick Blades over this, but I think this is, a potential buy for Zeri in the upcoming patch.
I think the only argument I would make to say no is because since it still converts your crit chance, right? her W would feel a lot less useful because the W can crit,
true.
or it always crits, right? It says, I'm looking at it right now, applying the same effects to enemies hit, critically striking for 75%, and then if you have IE, that's an additional 35% bonus damage.
Right.
And I've seen games where people get nuked by that fucking empowered W.
Yeah, it does. Like, it's basically Lux's ultimate on a 4-second cooldown.
But no, I definitely can see the argument with Rageblade. That it could still be good. I think it could still be good.
I think it's something worth testing out and trying and seeing how people like it. I definitely will be trying it.
Definitely. And then the Ornn upgrade is Seething Sorrow. Attack damage is 40, ability power is 50, and then the attack speed is 35.
Admittedly, a bit lackluster compared to some of the other Ornn item upgrades, but the item itself base is just so good that it doesn't really make a difference.
It doesn't matter. All right, moving on. Hearthbound Axe, I'm not too worried about. They're just buffing it a little more. They're making it 100 gold more, and then 15 to 2080.
They're also adding an extra longsword into the.
Okay,
the
yeah.
itself.
So a little bit smoother.
Right. I think it's fine. What does that build into besides Triforce? It builds into Striderbringer.
Is it
correct?
Wit's End?
Oh, and Wit's End, yes. Striderbringer, Wit's End, and Triforce is what it currently builds into.
Let me see. Hold on. Bound Axe. Let me look at this before I. Okay, yeah. Phantom Dancer. Oh, is it? It's going to Phantom Dancer this patch.
Oh, is it?
I hate that this item is not paired with the other items it builds into. Yeah, so because I look on the LoL wiki, which again is updated from these patch notes. So it's Phantom Dancer, Trinity Force, Stridebreaker, and Wit's End. Yeah. So okay. I've never really bought this item. I don't know. It's if I'm like building. Let me see. What's the build path for Stridebreaker? What was it? Oh, let's see. Hold on. Let me look at this. I see. I always would first buy like Iron Spike Whip, or like if I'm going Trinity Force, I would definitely go Sheen. Phantom Dancer prior was a Zeal, so that's different. And then I guess I would build it if I was building Wit's End, because I'm not just gonna want to sit on a Null Magic and a Longsword, but I guess it's okay. I do like we were talking about movement speed. I like because it gives a movement speed when you auto attack, right?
It does. It doesn't mention it here, but I'm guessing it keeps that same passive.
Yeah, it would have said removed.
Right.
Cool. All right, moving on to Immortal Shieldbow, becoming a legendary. It is dropping 400 gold, so it's 3k now. The recipe is Pickaxe, Cloak of Agility, Vamp Scepter, plus 625. AD is staying 50. Critical strike chance is still 20. Lifesteal is still 7%. No more attack speed. And then the lifeline shield strength read as, if you would take damage that would reduce you to below 30% of your maximum health, you first gain a 250 to 630 based on level shield for 3 seconds. Now it reads, if you would take damage that would reduce you to below 30% of your maximum health, you first gain a shield 215 to 500 based on level for 3 seconds. So it is, and it says note, lifeline shield is backloaded towards later levels. Not sure what that means.
It's essentially saying that the shield will be smaller early in the game and will be bigger later in the game. It scales non-linearly like the what was the other item you're looking at, or the other champion.
Even though it's getting nerfed late, right?
Yeah, I mean it's an overall nerf to the item, which is fair because it's going down from mythic to legendary. But the shield itself will be smaller and will scale better as the game goes on. So like it'll start at 215, then it'll go to like 225. It'll jump to like 245, or things along the lines of that.
So mid game it might be a little bit better.
Possibly.
Right. Okay. And then the unique passive, the lifeline is changing from gaining 15 to 35 AD for 8 seconds to 30% attack speed for 8 seconds. I think that's okay. I feel like
it's just a very okay item. It was what it looks like. I think it'll be kind of weird for all the Samir players out there who will not know what to buy or build. And she always preferred the AD over the attack speed. But
Yeah.
that champion's a little silly. They could figure it out.
Yeah, I feel like the passive is kind of for a lot of ADs. I mean, I guess the attack speed is nice, but I don't know.
It's really just becoming a please don't kill me item for AD carries. That's all it is. I mean, that's currently what it is now to an extent, but that's really what it's becoming to. I think it's fine. I think it's if you're really scared of getting one shot by a Fed Rengar or a Zed or a Syndra, things along the lines of that, you can build it. It's not really the ideal damage item, but if you can keep you alive, that's what's important.
Fair enough. All right, moving on to Infinity Edge. All right, here's a big one.
Boy.
So yeah, so we are back to because back in the day, I feel like almost all ADCs would rush this. Maybe you could sub in Bloodthirster before the mythics, like every AD, and before when they, what season was it where they just fucking gutted it in the middle of the season and it did like true damage?
Oh god, I want to say it was 4 or 5, but I'm not sure offhand.
When I just remember Reckless in EU just subbed himself out because ADs were so. It was whenever Garen Yumi.
That was.
It was like Darius bot lane, Garen Yumi bot lane. So it was only like 3 years ago, probably.
Yeah, I was thinking you're different one.
Yeah, this item was dog shit then. But prior, I mean, it used to give. Let me actually look at what it used to be. Old Infinity Edge. I feel like it was like insanely OP.
Way back in the day, like Season 4 Infinity Edge, right?
Yeah. Let me see. Cause fuck, I need numbers. Give me numbers. Hold on. Was this it? 60. No, that's not it. Or is that it right now? Okay, I'm getting caught off. Anyways, people would rush this all the time. I remember playing Caitlyn. You would just rush this. Big crit damage. It's a mythic now. So it's keeping the same recipe. It's keeping the same gold amount. Keeping the same AD. Crit chance same. They're adding the 35% extra crit damage into the passive. So now you don't have that 40% threshold that you need to pass. And then the mythic passive empowers each of your other legendary items with 5 AD.
I sure hope you're ready to start banning Caitlyn again. That champion's going to be insane with Infinity Edge Rush.
Yeah, and then the Ornn item, Tyler and I were kind of talking about this. How do you feel about it called Edge of Finality? I think that's stupid.
It's okay.
It just doesn't make sense. It's the upgraded version. Infinity Edge, it's an infinite. But now they're like, oh, never mind. This upgrade gives 100 AD, by the way, is finite. Why? It should be the other way around.
Maybe it's just because the item's just so good that it'll just finish the game for you once you get it. You just instantly win on the Ornn upgrade. The enemy nexus just explodes. They can't win.
100 AD is wild. And then pair it with the Bloodthirster, you're going to get another 95 AD when you're full, above 50.
Right.
Yeah, so Caitlyn's going to hit.
Caitlyn, Draven.
I will also say...
I'm not sure about the Jinx, but Aphelios is going to be very, very scary.
Oh my god, I can't even... The other thing, I do remember when we went over it previously, the Ornn upgrade had another bonus where it increased that 35% crit damage to 40, but they got rid of that.
Okay, well that's good at least. That would have been too much.
Even though it's only 5%, that would have been nuts.
Yeah, some champions are critting currently for like 1,000 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Any percentage increase would just be you're just gonna be getting one shot by auto attacks. Which I mean, I'll have fun doing that, but I don't know if the enemies or my teammates will have fun having that happen to them.
I can't wait. All right, moving on. I fucking hate that they do this. Kyris Shard is becoming an AD item, not attack speed. So it gives 15 AD, and then the recipe is longsword plus 350, still 700 gold, no more attack speed, and then the energized attacks when you stack up to 100 was 80% bonus magic damage. Now it is only 60 bonus magic damage. God, it's gonna just throw me off because whatever. I'm just gonna keep going down the list. Kraken Slayer. Here we go. So Kraken Slayer no longer a mythic. It is dropping 400 gold. And then the recipe is changing from Noon Quiver, or it's changing to Noon Quiver, Cloak of Agility, and a Recurve Bow. So this is your more of another like boost to attack speed. It's dropping 25 AD, but it's gaining 5% attack speed. How do you feel about that? Like, I feel like that. I mean, I know it's not a mythic, but 25 AD. But I guess they're just putting that AD elsewhere in items, right? Like I keep saying Bloodthirster.
I don't think a lot of the crit ADs will be looking to build this item.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's definitely being more pushed towards that on-hit type AD carries or on-hit type champions. Most AD carries will probably just skip this over and look for regular old crit builds, or as much as possible. Maybe Stormraiser can come back into the meta with the changes for certain AD carries, like the Draven, like the Caitlyn. But Kraken for sure going to be on the Veins, the Kog'Maws, possibly
I was gonna
the Kindred.
say, the unique passive is changing from every third attack applies 20 plus 60% total AD plus 45% AP bonus magic damage. Well, it was true damage. I don't know why they didn't tell me it changed from that. So now it deals magic damage and not true damage, and it scales with AP. So definitely you're going to be looking at Vayne if they're going to be building more AP or on hit. And then the subsequent triggers on the same target within 6 seconds increases this damage by 50%, up to a maximum of 100% increased damage. So this is like full on single target, obviously, because that's what it was before. But like, damn, I feel like this has to be paired with Winsu's.
Yeah, absolutely. This is for sure going for any on hit AD carry or champion. I'd be a little interested to see like Yasuo and Ionia trying to run this. Maybe the rally players that are ahead will try something funny. You know, I'm sure a lot of champions will try and mess around, see what they could do with the new Kraken Slayer.
Okay, moving on to Mercurial Scimitar, just simply getting 10 extra magic resist from 40 to 50. I think I was talking to Tyler about this when we saw this. I feel like the only reason I buy this item is literally just for the QSS or active. Like,
yeah,
I know it gives crit, it gives AD, magic resist. I was building like Maw Malmortius more than this if I needed magic resist.
Yeah, nobody builds this item unless they need it for like a Malzahor or maybe a Mordekaiser, things along the lines of that. Skarner, even for those like 3 games you see him in.
And even if that, you're just building QSS. You're not even finishing it.
Yeah, this is your last item if you ever get to that stage of the game. It's a nice little buff, but it's really not going to mean much.
I mean, keep into account all this fucking magic damage is being put into the bot lane now. So they probably make this a little more enticing to have magic resist with. Moving on to Mortal Reminder, just getting 5 extra AD from 35 to 40. And then Navori Quick Blades becoming a mythic. So the total gold is unchanged, 3,400. The build path is the same. AD is the same. Crit chance is the same. Ability haste the same. And then it's more or less the same. Attacks reduce non-ultimate abilities cooldown by 12% of the remaining cooldown. Your abilities deal up to 20% increased damage based on crit strike chance. And then the mythic passive is 5 ability haste per legendary item. The first thing I thought of... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that this looks really nice for champions like Ezreal, mainly.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Ezreal actually has a mythic now.
Thank God I can finally build a mythic in the champion game. Because most times when I play Ezreal, I completely skip building a mythic as a full build.
That's what.
There's none that really fits them.
There's no point. It's like Essence Reaver, a Manamune,
Quick Blades.
Yeah, exactly. Prior it was Quick Blades. You'd never go mythic. No. Now this feels a lot better. I mean, it's obviously just for casters, because if you're and then the 20% increased ability damage, obviously you get that 20% when you're at 100% crit. That's to maximize it. Do you think like this is still going to be good on like Lucian? Like, you think this is Lucian's mythic?
Yeah, I think it is for sure. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of Lucians would like to build things like Rapid Fire into Quick Blades.
Okay.
Or not Rapid Fire. Galeforce into Quick Blades. But Lucian, Ezreal, possibly Misfortune, Zeri, perhaps.
Yeah, Zeri for sure would be good with this. The ability haste is nuts. I always just think of Lucian because like if you get enough haste, your E, it's like the cooldown on your E is non-existent as long as you're weaving in the passive, your attack, your double shots. Like you could just E auto attack, Q auto attack, or Ardent Blaze. By the time you like go through your entire like combo, your E is back up, and you're just so fucking mobile.
Did you play during the time when Lucian had his E would be able to take away slows? So like let's say you got Nasus Withered, you were able to just E out of it and just keep moving. And his E was a lower cooldown at the time. It used to cleanse slows, yeah.
What the fuck?
It was crazy. Lucian
was that like when he was first released?
Around that time, yeah, season 4.
God damn, that sounds stupidly OP.
It was insane. I think this is a bit reminiscent of that, where you can just. He used to be able to just E auto auto E auto auto E auto auto. You didn't even need Cure W's at the time to just have your E up permanently. I don't know if he'll be able to do that again with this. I'd have to try and test it out myself and see how it looks. But again, this is for sure going to be a Lucian item and Ezreal item. And then some other AD carries could try and mess around with it. Maybe Tristana players might like it if they want to upkeep their Q. I know some people like that. I know some people like it on Zeri. I think it'd be kind of interesting on Misfortune. I know that her ulti does scale with crit and crit damage, so we'll have to see what they like. But it'll be interesting to try out. Speaking of bad boring item names, I think Flicker is really lame.
It's pretty bad.
It's so boring.
I don't even know like do you know what Navori is?
That's a good question. I actually want to look that up.
It's a clan of Vestians, I think in Ionia. Like I think Zion Rakan, like they're like they're just like a rival like clan, the Navori clan. Oh, and it's like the quick blades. It's just, if you kind of look at it, it kind of reminds me of Zaya's feathers. But obviously they're blades, but like Flicker, I have what? I don't understand. It's so fucking stupid.
According to the wiki, Navorians were champions like Akali, Aurelia, Yasuo Zed, Syndra. They're all from Navori. Shen, Lilia. That's a specific area of Ionia.
What is Navori? I guess I was wrong. It's the most populous region, Ionia, being home to various villagers, prestigious schools. I swear to God, where the fuck did I hear that then? I'm smoking meth. Fuck, my bad. I'm just, fake news out here, I guess. Okay, so, Flicker, I just have no idea.
So boring.
Where they pulled that. Like, Tyler and I were just thinking of all the dumbass fucking names that they have, and this is up there. Flicker. But the Ornn upgrade is 80 AD, and then you get 30 ability haste. All right, moving on to Noonquiver. Noonquiver does not build into mythics anymore. That's literally all it is. Phantom Dancer is getting a cost increase and a item recipe change, which is now the Heartbound Axe, and then the attack speed is going up by 5%. I don't think 5% attack speed is worth, I guess, 200 gold. How much? A dagger's 300.
Dagger's 300.
Because 12% attack speed?
Yes.
So this is no way worth.
No. Gold efficiency-wise, it's not worth. I think Phantom Dancer as an item overall is very nice, especially getting the Spectral Waltz is huge for a lot of AD carries. And don't forget that Phantom Dancer on its own has a Rage Blade type effect, where when you attack 4 times, you get bonus attack speed.
And then when you're ghosted too, when you...
Right.
Okay, that's important.
So it does all stack up, and you are just getting an insane amount of attack speed.
What's the attack speed steroid it gives you at 4 stacks? Let me see. Phantom Dancer. So 30% extra attack speed.
Right, so it's a pretty large amount of attack speed once you rocket passive.
Fair enough. Okay, that's fair. Cool. All right, moving on. So we went over Rage Knife, Rapid Fire Cannon. Gives AD now. The price, total cost was $2,500, now just $3,000. The recipe changed to Longsword Zeal, Kyris Shard, and 850 gold. Now gives 30 AD. Attack speed dropped from 35 to 15%. The crit chance is the same, and then the bonus movement speed is the same. The unique passive, your energized attacks apply 120 bonus match damage. In addition, energized attacks gain up to 35% bonus attack range. And that is changing. The energized attack is now doing 60 to 140 based on level bonus match damage. So it's just a little bit weaker early, but a little bit stronger later.
It's a nice little change, I think. I could finally feel safe building it again on Jhin second item because I felt like I never did damage once I built Rapid Fire Cannon on Jhin. Right. It was just nice to get that Galeforce long auto. I feel a little bad for the few TF players out there that really like this item, because it is great for TF, but it's gonna be a little bit more expensive and it gives a little bit less value to what TF likes to do.
Yeah, giving it AD. I mean, I guess the red card scales with AD, but you're not using this for a red card. You're using it for a gold card.
Right.
A lot more expensive, 500 gold more. Yeah, oof. I didn't even think about that. That sucks. That fucking sucks. Recurve Bow is getting a small change. Total cost is dropped by 300, 1,000 to 700. The recipe is just dagger and 400 gold now. Attack speed is dropping from 25% to 15%. And then the unique passive is changing from 15% bonus physical damage on hit. Now it is 15 bonus physical damage, and then now it is 15 bonus magic damage on hit. Magic damage. That's the theme. And then moving on to Runaan's, the total cost is going up by 200 gold, so it is 2,800 now. They are changing the recipe from Dagger Zeal Dagger 9 plus 950 to Zeal and a Recurve Bow plus 1k gold. Attack speed is dropped by 45 to 40%. The unique passive new attack, the attacks apply 30 magic damage on hit. And then the unique passive, the Wind Fury Bolt damage was 40% total AD. Now it is 50% total AD. And then new unique passive, Wind's Fury. Wind's Fury now additionally searches for any minion in range if no champions can be found.
I think it's actually very interesting, the changes on it. It's not a very popular item except for Jinx.
Mm-hmm.
I do like it a lot.
Kalista?
You can.
Or I think more like single target.
She's generally more single target, but Runon's is nice because you can spread the E. I think it's fine on Kaisa, if I remember correctly. I think it spreads on her passive as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God it doesn't spread on Silver Bolts. That would be so OP.
Holy shit.
But I think the fact that you're getting an extra 10% total AD on those side shots is really nice for those crit AD carries. Because I personally have always liked building on things like Caitlyn and Jinx and Defalios. That 10 extra percent AD is going to be real nice when I get this item.
And it's just giving an extra 30 magic damage too. Just leaving that in there.
So like you can get a little bit of mixed damage in as well.
Cool. All right, moving on to Static Shiv. They are bringing that back. Now, what do you think of this new icon?
I hate it. It's so disgusting. Just bring it. You could literally just use the old icon and I'll be happy. Or like you can make it HD or whatever they want to do. But this icon looks so bad.
It doesn't even look like a Shiv. It just looks like Zeus's Thunderbolt or something.
It's exactly what it is.
It's kind of dumb. Like I don't. I used to love this item.
I loved it as well.
Fucking great. So it's coming back. 3,000 gold. Recipe is Noon Quiver, Cloak of Agility, Kyris Shard, and 400 gold. 45 AD, 25% attack speed, critical strike chance is 20%. And then your Energized Attack fires Chain Lightning that applies 60 to 170 plus 50% AP bonus match damage. These Energized Attacks will hit 6 to 12 targets. They chain to the next target until within 600 range every time it deals damage. And they deal 120% bonus damage to minions.
Yeah.
This is like wave clear, like for ADs that don't have wave clear.
Every AD carries Silver now.
Right. It's OP. Did the old Static Shiv used to do bonus damage to minions? I don't think it did.
I believe that it did. I'm pretty sure it did, but it didn't have. I don't think it had scaling to it.
Like the AP?
Right, this new AP ratio is being added on. This is gonna be an interesting item. Maybe some of those old school Yasuo players will come back rushing this like they did back in the day. Because again, one of Yasuo's biggest issues in the early laning is that he has no wave clear whatsoever, so you can never really do anything once you shove down the tower. Interesting buy. I don't know how great it's gonna look on AD carries yet. It's definitely a fun item, but in terms of just pure performance, I'd have to try it out. Like, this is something you can't just read numbers and tell.
Right. It's been out of the game for so long that we don't know how we're gonna how it's gonna fit in. I could see a handful of champions rushing this though, just to, if they need to like a Caitlyn. I could see a Caitlyn like rushing just to be able to push out fucking their lane if they feel like they're getting shit on. I mean, 3,000 gold. I don't think it used to. It used to be cheaper, right?
It used to be 2,600, I believe.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds right. Well, let me talk about Stormraiser because I believe the energized items still stack. Like I remember the old day with the rapid fire cannon and static shiv, they would stack up. Yep. So let's see. So Stormraiser, this item was dog shit, and no one built it, aside from maybe a Jhin, but I don't know.
Even then,
it sucked.
Yeah, it was awful.
So total gold was 2,700. Now it is 3,000. The item recipe now is Noon Quiver, Cloak of Agility, Kyris Shard plus 400. I like this. No longer a BF sword. You don't need to get fucking 1,300 gold to feel like you do damage. I like that. AD is going up by 10 from 45 to 55. Attack speed's the same, 15. Crit chance is the same, 20. Your energy attacks apply 25 plus 65% total AD plus 50% AP bonus magic and grant 45% movement speed for 1 second. Now, this screams Jhin.
It does. I will say, I think this is actually a huge nerf to the item.
You think so?
I think the slow was much more important than giving yourself move speed. I think it's really nice if you need to kite and you're like trying to run away from enemies. But having the slow let your team jump on somebody really easily with the old Stormraiser. That was its only like one niche use, in my opinion.
I don't know. I guess I just hadn't seen many people build this item that I just it just felt useless. It still sucked. Yeah. I really like movement speed. Like I said, it synergizes with champions like Jhin or Caitlyn.
Yeah, it's a crazy amount of movement speed.
Yeah, especially if you're pairing it with, if you're playing like if you're playing Caitlyn or Jhin with Fleet Footwork, another little boost of movement speed that's gonna stack on top of it. You're gonna be quick as fuck.
Very true. Very true.
Is it better? I still don't see people building this like maybe 5th item. I don't know.
It's hard to say. Because I think most of the time you'll be looking at your Infinity Edge, your BT, like a Phantom Dancer or Runon's Last Whisper, of course. So Stormraiser as an item as a whole, it just probably wouldn't even be built at all, or like last item maybe.
I will say though, there are a lot of items now that are very viable, and you'll be able to. I mean, depending on what the game looks like, I just feel like you have more options now overall.
Yeah, that is very true. There's a ton of flexibility being added into the game, which I think is great.
Moved on to Collector. Simply, lethality is going up by 6 from 12 to 18. That fucking sounds scary. I feel like people weren't building this for a while, though, because when they changed Infinity Edge, I would much rather get that like extra crit damage rather than, just executing someone at 5% of their HP. So I'm assuming I don't like this item. Tyler and I talked about this too. I don't think it should have crit on it. It should just be an assassin item. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. Honestly, I think even with the 6 extra lethality, it's not that crazy. It's definitely just like a big snowball-y item now. If you're ahead in lane and you want to try and push your advantage as much as possible, it's fine to get this. The item itself is just not super strong nowadays. And compared to the other items in this patch, I think it's not nearly as strong as these new items coming in.
Right. Okay. And then finally, Zeal, just changing the Cost is going up by 50 gold. Attack speed is dropping by 3% to 15. Movement speed is dropping by 2 to 5%. And then the passive Zealous bonus movement speed is no longer a unique passive, so they stack. Okay, that's cool to know.
Yeah,
Moving on to... go ahead.
No, I was going to say, honestly, like, these are fine changes. I think the Zeal is actually a really strong item for the cost and what it gives you.
Yeah.
For 1100 gold, you're getting a good amount of attack speed and, of course, move speed, which is... It's really hard to rate how much move speed is worth in the game when it provides you so much value inside of fights, inside of chasing, inside of running away. So something like this, an item for that cheap giving you 7% move speed, it's a deserved nerf, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you said earlier, it's movement speed in general is just super. I feel like it's overlooked because I back in the day I used to play a lot of Volibear jungle, and I would rush. Like season 5, season 6, I would rush Mobies for if I get like first blood, and I had like about 1100 gold, or whatever, or no, it's cheaper than that, 800 gold. I would just buy Mobies, and I would get out back onto the map so fucking fast, and I'd be ready to go. People underestimate. That was the word I'm thinking of. Underestimate movement speed, and it's really strong. Just being quick as fuck. Okay, so let's move on to assassin items. So Duskblade is getting swapped around here, sort of with Prowler's Claw. But Duskblade no longer has the empowered auto attack. It is now your spells deal up to 15% bonus damage based on the target's missing health, maximized at 20% remaining health. And then the unique passive was when a champion you have damage within 3 seconds dies, you become invisible for 1.5 seconds. Now, when a champion you have damage within the past 3 seconds dies, you become untargetable by non-structures. This effect does not destroy incoming missiles and breaks upon taking any action that would normally exit stealth. Now, I feel like a lot of champions, and we have this issue all the time, where I felt like Eclipse was like the premier lethality item. I guess Prowlers, you'd see it every now and then, but like,
right.
I think all the stats that Eclipse give, the shield, the movement speed, the ability
percentage HP.
Yeah, I felt like it was very strong. Now, I know, I definitely agree, like, the invisibility was really fucking bullshit. I'm not sure how I feel about the bonus damage, and then untargetable. We're trying to figure out, does that mean if you're untargetable, can you be CC'd still, or you just don't take damage?
I think you can be seen, but you can't be so kind of like a Fizz E, where he can't be targeted during his
or a Vladimir pool or
right,
yeah,
or yeah, things along the lines of that. So I'm not quite sure exactly how it's gonna work. I don't think you can hit the assassin with the CC, but if you're already in the middle of like hitting them, then that won't change much. I don't know. It's hard to say. From what I've read a little bit on Twitter about this item. Apparently, a lot of people don't like it. It just does no damage compared to current Duskblade. Again, that's only what I've gotten to read. I haven't gotten to try it myself.
Right.
It's interesting for sure, but I'm not sure exactly what it's gonna look like once the patch comes out.
So let's look at Prowler's Claw, because Prowler's Claw is becoming a legendary item now. Dropping by 100 gold to 3,000. AD is dropping by 5 to 55. Ability haste is dropping by 5 to 15. Lethality dropping from 18 to 15. No longer has the active. Now the passive is basically the old Duskblade, where after dashing, blinking, or exiting stealth, your next attack on an enemy champion deals 85 plus 45 AD. Plus, and then if you're ranged, it does a little bit less, of course. And on a 10-second cooldown, if the owner is melee, the attack also slows by 99% for half a second.
I think this item is crazy. I think this is an insane item for some of the assassin junglers and assassin mid laners out in the meta right now. Kha'Zix is a huge fan of this. Talon's gonna be insane. Shake was gonna be crazy.
Just the fact that it's not a mythic either, because like when I play Kha'Zix, I go Eclipse. I feel like Eclipse is really OP.
I agree, yeah.
But now I can stack this on top of that, and guess what? I'm jumping out of the shadows at you. I'm slowing you, and I'm doing a shit ton of damage, and then I'm out again. Well, it does have a 10-second cooldown too, so you can't like keep applying it, right? Or I guess
Right.
is it per champion?
Does it specify?
Or no, I don't think it specifies. So the item probably goes on a 10-second cooldown. Okay.
Either way, realistically, as an assassin, you're just looking to kill one priority target, and this will do it.
I feel like, though, will say, dude, rest in peace, AD Scion, though.
Oh man, you know what? I'm okay with that being gone. That was not fun to play against.
So dumb, dude. So dumb. So okay.
Baus can climb the challenger on something else.
Right. No, he'll keep. No, he's just running it down as AP Aurelia, going like 1-18. Love it.
I don't know what happened to that guy. He's just inting it for content at this point. It's so sad to see.
Sucks. Okay. Moving on to Youmuu's Ghostblade. Now this one was pretty good. Becoming a mythic now. Total cost is going up by 100 from 3,000 to 3,100. AD is going up by 5, 55 to 60. Ability haste going up by 5, 15 to 20. The active movement speed is going up by 5% from 20 to 25% bonus movement speed. They're getting rid of the Haunt passive that grants you 40 out of combat movement speed. The new passive, the new Haunt, moving generates spectral shards up to 100, kind of like Dead Man's Plate. For each stack, gain 0.4 movement speed, maximum of 40 out of combat. At maximum stacks, gain 8 to 20 based on level lethality. These stacks reset 3 seconds after dealing damage to an enemy champion while at maximum stacks. And then the mythic passive empowers your legendaries with 7 attack damage. I think this item is fucking gross.
When I saw this item, my first thought was, wow, I can't wait for Hecarim to come out the jungle and one-tap me and walk away. It's gonna be
so
great.
Fucking quick.
The item
yeah.
does look really, really good, and it's gonna be fun. But I don't really see it being played on like, a lot of champions outside of Hecarim. Maybe you could play a couple fun builds on like Master Yi or Udyr. You can bring back Lethality Udyr.
Oh my god.
Volley Bear. You know, some champions will just run you down really quick and 2-tap you and walk out.
You know, I was also thinking, you remember, I don't know how many years ago, it must have been a while now, everything fucking blurs together. Do you remember when, like, Jhin and Lucian would rush these lethality items?
Yes, that was the meta where it was Jhin, Lucian, Misfortune, and Varus.
All would rush Ghostblade.
Yep.
And then what I wanted to, aside, again, movement speed is also fucking great on Jhin. The lethality is lethality is always good on like 80s, especially if you can get it early. You're just fucking shitting on people.
That's true. Actually, I didn't think about that. That's quite interesting. Maybe a couple ADs could build that.
I was gonna say, let me get to the the Ornn upgrade. Youmuu's Wake. Attack damage is going up to is 75. Ability haste is 25, and this thing gives 26 lethality.
Yeah, that is a crazy amount of lethality in one item.
So plus the at max level, you're getting 20 from the passive. 46 lethality is
and I'm
fucking
pretty sure.
Gross.
God, I haven't looked at the math for this in a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it's just 1-to-1 with armor at that point. So you're just right.
This is one item. Yeah, this is one item. Like, if you're going full lethality, if you're going like balls out, right? And what each lethality, what did let's see, so 15 on prowlers. Let's see if we just stack these. What did collectors going to 18?
Right.
You could have like over 60. You know what? Also, the champion that comes to mind when I think of Youmuu's.
Sure. What is it?
Pike.
Oh my god.
Pike with the movement speed.
Pike.
The movement speed, and then it's fucking gross. Wow. Pike is gonna be really good with this.
Yeah, that's gonna be insane. Actually, that's a rush item for sure on Pike. He'll be zooming around the map making plays.
Oh man, there's so many. Oh, I'm curious. I really want to play Kha'Zix. I want to test out Duskblade on Kha'Zix. I want to test out Youmuu's on Kha'Zix. Just oh man, yeah. I feel like this item might get nerfed. This just feels really OP. Just 8 to
Youmuu's
20.
Gonna be insane.
3 seconds after dealing damage to an enemy. So you have like three bonus seconds to get extra attacks while you have that bonus at lethal. Oh my god.
Yeah, honestly, it won't even be needed. You're one-shotting someone within like half a second of walking out.
I mean, it's only
one-shotted.
It's only going up 100 gold too. That's so good. I would love to see the gold, like what is it called when you efficiency. I'd love to see the efficiency on this new fucking Ghostblade. It's probably so fucking good.
Yeah, actually, that's true. It's gonna be incredibly efficient in terms of gold.
All right, so moving on. We're about an hour and 10 into this, so I'm gonna go through because all we have left, I believe, are support items.
Yeah, I think a couple tank items.
I'll just run through them a little bit. So Abyssal Mask no longer gives mana. It is increasing. It's giving more magic resist. I think it's a little bit better for champions that don't build mana. And it's dropping 600 gold, which is nuts. I feel like this is like with all the magic damage that's being pumped in the bot lane with these items and champions. I feel like Abyssal Mask is gonna be very good. 60 magic resist is fat.
Yeah, just real quick, if you haven't watched MSI, the sudden appearance of Nautilus mid lane with the Abyssal Mask rush.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the developers had no idea that this was going to be a thing, but I think that's very interesting for the people out there wanting to try that. This is definitely going to be a very good item, and even into top lane for certain against AP matchups. Like let's say you're up against like a Gwen top lane and you're playing a tank. Abyssal Mask rush into Gwen is pretty good. You end up being able to survive the lane and even fight back pretty easily. And
then also, of course, the more champions around, you sucky their magic resist, and you gain it. So it says gain. Obviously, this is what it is right now, but you can gain up to 40 additional magic resist if you're in a team fight with 5 people. So this item can give you 100 magic resist. Big.
Yeah, just on its own.
Big. Moving on to Ardent Sensor. I know they're nerfing a little bit of the heal and shield power. Or no, heal, shield, the mana regen.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know why enchanters do so much damage currently.
That was my thing. That's always what I'm saying. I'm like, why the fuck did this give 60 AP? That's like a good amount, right? Like,
yeah. Insane amounts of AP for enchanters. They're doing so much damage to the bot lane. They're practically the carries for the first 20 minutes.
So now basically they're buffing the attack speed and the on-hit magic damage that Ardent Sensor gives. Very good. Chalice of Blessing. So this is the new in-between item. Basically they're bringing back old Athene's Unholy Grail. Love that item. Let me go to that. It's Echoes. Yeah, Echoes of Helia. Basically, old Athenes, you deal damage to enemies, you steal, let's see, so dealing damage to an enemy champion grants a soul shard up to 2 max. Healing or shielding an ally consumes all soul shards and restores 20 to 100 based on allies' level, health, and deals 30 to 200 based on allies' level magic damage per shard to the nearest enemy champion. So this screams like, this could compete with Mandate, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, yeah, go ahead.
Cog Lulu's coming back with a fierce,
bro.
I can't even think of the words right now.
Vengeance.
Vengeance. And don't forget Twitch like Lulu also. Lulu as a champion, it's gonna be real spooky on this next patch.
Fun. It's just they're taking the damage. They're making it the damage more utility. So let's see. There's that Chemtech Putrefier. What are they doing? They're dropping the gold again. 2100 is fucking stupidly cheap.
Yeah,
I feel like no one was building this. This item's awesome though.
I see it built pretty often in my games. If I'm playing with an enchanter, because no carry wants to buy Grievous Wounds. The Grievous Wounds item for carries give you no damage, even though they added Magic Pen to the new Morellos recently. It still feels bad to have to build and buy it.
I was saying in my games, because I play with people that don't know how to open the shop. They don't build it. Okay, so we went over that. Cry of the Shrieking City. This is the Ornn upgrade.
Now that's a sick name.
That is a sick name. Not like fucking Flicker, whatever the fuck it was called. Stupid. Let's see. Even Shroud. What are they doing at this? Becoming effective or applying on a mobile enchantment. So increasing the damage. Are they just? Oh, they're just changing the build path.
I actually think this is insane for tank supports. Tank sports.
Yeah. Oh, it's cheaper, right?
Yeah,
200
tank
gold
sports
cheaper.
have felt a little lackluster in the past like year or two. And I miss having a Braum. I miss playing with Leonas and things like that. This looks real nice for those champions.
Speaking of, they I don't know if you saw it yet, but they dropped the Rel mid scope today, which is probably what I don't know if Tyler's gonna be able to join me on Friday, but this week's Friday episode is we're gonna be going over the mid scope for Rel, and it looks pretty juicy, and this item is really good. I feel like for Rel.
I'll read through that once we're done here. I can't wait.
Imperial Mandate, buffing the AP, dropping the cost, changing the build path. Are they abilities to slow? They're changing abilities to slow or mobilize and deal 35 to 75. So I believe they're just dropping the damage on the passive, the unique passive, which is fine. 35 to 75. Yeah, it's lower early, and then the additional damage is down a little bit.
I think what's important is that you can stack this with the new item Echoes of Helia.
They're both mythics.
They're both isn't Imperial Mandate was shifted down to a legendary tier item. This is right at the top, right? Imperial Mandate, yeah, Imperial Mandate's a legendary.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, so it's around the patch notes. Yeah, so you can stack those items now.
Well, I say what the fuck because like a majority of when we were looking at Infinity Edge, it didn't say in the blurb it was getting changed. It would say like under the cost. This is an issue Tyler and I have with like their formatting. Like no one proofreads this shit.
Yeah.
Like look at even Shroud, which is ability haste, 20 ability haste to 20 ability haste. Love it.
Nice, good change.
So that's my fault. Okay, so it is a legendary now. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you can stack that. That's nice. That's really fucking nice. Moving on. Knight's Vow is giving armor. Health is dropping. Let's see. What was it? While your worthy allies nearby, redirect 10% of pre-mitigation damage they take for you and heal for 10% of damage dealt by a worthy ally. If they have less than 30... So this was changed from post-mitigation. Oh, okay. So it is pre-mitigation, and it was post-mitigation. Okay.
It's a nice little buff to the item overall. Pretty much every tank support's getting it anyways. So, just an overall nice little buff for those few Leona Braum players out there that are trying to help out.
Yeah, sorry we're running through this, guys. It's another plus hour episode, so hang in there. New item, Lifewell Pendant. 1050 gold, cloth armor, ruby crystal, 350 gold, 150 health, 25 armor, and then 5 ability haste. I feel like that's really good for 1,050 gold.
Yeah, pretty gold efficient. It's a nice little buy for again those tank supports.
Mm-hmm.
Something that makes them feel useful on that first back.
And then that is an item that's building into Locket now. So bye Aegis. Are they doing anything extra to Locket? They are they're increasing the shield shield. Grant you and allies within 850. Okay, so the shield is going up, which I like because I felt like Locket shield just didn't do shit that often. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. No,
that's
changes.
It.
Okay,
small buff.
A lot of these are just getting cheaper too, so dropping 200 gold. Okay, Mikhail's Blessing, getting 250 health. No more magic resist, but the unique passive, gaining 25% base health regen for every additional 25% base mana regen. And then actually the active is changing. Let's see. The healing is going up late. So it was after you cleanse, aside from knockups and suppressions, restore 100 to 180 based on allies' level health. Now it is 100 to 250, so you get a little bit of a extra heal. Not bad.
I actually like that change a lot because a lot of the tank supports didn't like building Mikhail's Blessing.
Yeah, now it just gives flat health. I like that.
Yeah, and then the health regen is also kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. So then Moonstone, they were changing this a little bit, dropping 200 gold. Ability power is going down a little bit. Unique passive, the Starlit Grace. Healing or shielding an ally chains to the nearest ally champion, excluding yourself, healing for 20 to 35 based on ally target level, or shielding 30 to 40% based on target's level of the original amount. And then the mythic passive empowers each of your other legendary items with 5 ability haste. So I think they're just... I felt like this is a little bit... makes you have to think a little bit more with this, because before you just hit an enemy and you're like, oh, here's free heals.
Right.
So this is a little more... Yeah.
This is still probably the premier Sona item and maybe Soraka item. I think it's fine. The item seems okay. I remember at a point in time, or even now, you can kind of build that on just random champions. Like, who was it that was building it on Ezreal mid recently?
Oh yeah, there was some Korean player, right?
Yeah, was it Chovy? Somebody ridiculous was doing that. And then I don't know if you had seen it at the time when Mordekaiser would build that for the massive shield that he would get.
I played a few games with Swain building this.
Right, that's another interesting
That was
one.
fucking fun.
Yeah, so I think now it's just a only heal and shield champion item, and not just build it because you can.
Okay, yeah, so that's looking good. And then Starcaster is the Orin upgrade, 65 ability power, 300 health, 25 ability haste, and then 200% mana regen. Moving on to, let's see, what do they do? Radiant Virtue, dropping 500 gold, very cheap. Build path is Aegis, Giant's Belt, and 600 now. Health is dropped by 50, armor's the same, magic is the same, ability haste dropping to 10. They are changing the passive. Now it will be upon casting your ultimate, you transcend for 9 seconds. While transcended, increase your maximum health by 12.5% and cause you and all allies with 1,200 units to heal for 2.5% of your maximum health upon transcending, and every 3 seconds thereafter. So they are dropping the heal by 0.5%. And was the cooldown? The cooldown is still the same.
Yeah,
so
you're also losing 2.5% on the max health gain.
Right. Okay. It was right. Okay. So it's 15 now. That's fine.
I'll say it's an overall nerf item, and I think it is necessary since a lot of tank junglers and tank tops could build it pretty easily, and it'll be very effective in lane.
Not even just tanks. Like you'll be seeing like a lot of Vi players go like Vi jungle with this. It sucks. But I like this. I'll play this I'll build this on Sejuani or something. Like it's good. Ow.
Very, very low econ, good value item. It's definitely looking more geared towards supports again.
Yeah, like a bot laner can build this now. It's 2,700 is chump change, I feel like. All right, moving on to the Ornn upgrade is Primordial Dawn. That's a great fucking name. 500 health
currently.
What's up?
Pretty sure that's what it is currently.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I've ever had.
Primordial Dawn is a sick name.
It's a good name. Redemption. Another item. So, let's see. Getting an increase on health, 50 gold, plus 50 health. Heal and shield powers drop by 1. The active, I remember we went over this. Let's see. So the healing is going up. And then the true damage, I believe, is still staying the same. And then the unique passive, because it's building out of that new Chalice item, 25% base health regen for every additional 25% base mana regen. I like this. I feel like sometimes Redemption just didn't heal enough. I think this is fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Honestly, I rarely see the item nowadays as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because most of the time the games end when the sport has like 2, maybe 3 items at most in most of my games. So Redemption just isn't like a go-to pickup most of the time. But this is a nice little buff to it, and I think sports will be able to get a couple more items in before the game inevitably ends over somebody's mistake.
Right. All right, Shirelia's getting cost reduction 2,500 to 2,300. Ability power is going down by 5. All the other stats are staying the same. The active grants you and all allies within 1,000 units 30% bonus move speed for 4 seconds. That's unchanged. The unique passive heal, shielding, or buffing allies grants you and them 25% bonus movement speed for 1.5 seconds to changing to. They're just dropping the movement speed by 5%. And then the mythic passive is the same. Shirelli. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say it's a nice little nerf. I think Shirley's was definitely picking up in terms of priority for a lot of enchanters.
Yeah.
The
Even
Karmas, Lulus, even like
yeah,
Sonas and Soraka's have been building it just because the move speed is insane.
they're willing to not do the heal and shield power bonuses for the extra movement speed. Yeah, it's a strong item. That's a really strong item. Let's see. Shirelia's Requiem, or an item. 65 AP, 300 health, 25% ability haste, or excuse me, 25 ability haste, and then 200% base mana regen. Or not base, just mana regen. What am I? Guys, we're an hour and a half into this. Hang in there. We're kind of almost done.
It's a huge patch.
Yeah. Staff of Flowing Water. AP is dropping. Base mana regen is dropping. New just gives flat 5% movement speed. And then the passive, the healing and shielding, is getting a buff early. Grants 30 to 45 based on allies' ability level ability power and 20 ability haste for 4 seconds. Prior it was 25 to 45. So again, a slight buff right there early on. Do you like the movement speed?
I think it's a nice little change. I think with the addition of quickly becoming a mythic now, and caster AD carries possibly coming back, or caster champions. And again, this is also just good for mages if an enchanter's on the team.
Yep.
The item's kind of fallen out of flavor in the past, I don't even know how many months. I haven't seen this item.
Mm-hmm.
So with the changes, I expect to see at least a couple games here and there once it's, if it makes sense.
Yep. All right. This was a big one. Watchful Wardstone. The item that no one built because supports don't get to level 13.
Mm-hmm.
Very odd. So they are dropping that. You can so Watchful Wardstone can only be purchased after completing your support quest, and hopefully you can get that before you're level 13. Everything is the same. They're adding base mana regen 50%, and the unique passive grants an extra 8% increase to bonus health, bonus attack damage, ability power, and ability haste. I read those in different order. Whatever. Because was this? I don't play support, so like, did this? Was this already in? This was already in the game, right? And then the new one.
So Watchful Wardstone didn't give that 8% increase. It was only once you got the upgraded item and you were level 13 that you got that 20% bonus. It never had that 8% bonus to start with. It was just you put your wards in there, it gave some flat base values, some stat values, and that was it. Okay.
So then Vigilant Wardstone is the upgrade. And again, you can only purchase it when you complete the support quest. It is 2,300 gold. It's Watchful Wardstone plus 1,200, 250 health, 10 ability power, 50% base mana regen. This item can store up to 3 control wards. That's new, right? Is it only 2?
I think it was 2. I'm not sure offhand. Honestly, I'd never seen this item built, so I don't blame you for not knowing.
Oh, increase your stealth ward and control ward placement caps by 1. So you can put 2 pink wards down?
That's what it seems to be, yeah.
That is strong. And then the passive now is grants 20% increase to bonus health, bonus AD, ability power, or ability haste and ability power. Was it you that mentioned, or no, it was Purple that mentioned Vagar support?
That's actually quite interesting. That is quite a bit. I will say that I don't think this will make much of a difference in our games and in solo queue as a whole. I'm a little worried that Purple will become really boring if there's just vision error and no one wants to fight, like it was, God, when was it, Season 4 was it, when games are going like 50, 60 minutes almost every single pro game, and like 3 or 4 deaths the entire game.
Just so much fucking vision. Like, everyone was playing way too safe.
Yeah. So, I just hope that doesn't happen again, because pro play has been really fun to watch recently. People have been playing super aggro, just balls to the wall gameplay, and it's been really enjoyable as a viewer. I don't expect my solo queue supposed to be getting this, because my Lux will always just want to rush damage and try to one-shot their AD carry before I get one-shot.
All right, Zeke's Convergence, dropping gold by 200. Health is dropping by 50. Armor is going down, or going up by 10. Ability haste dropping by 5. The passive is the item I don't really see that often. So for 8 seconds after you immobilize an enemy, your accomplice attacks on hit and apply An ability hit, apply an additional 30 to 70 based on level plus 7.5% AP plus 1.5% maximum health, match damage on enemy on hit to that enemy. Yeah, I don't see this item very often.
Yeah, I rarely see it myself. I think I've seen a couple of Brahmas build it here and there, and that's really about it. I think it's a nice little change to it. Honestly, all these tank item changes are nice for tank supports. It doesn't seem anything crazy. It's stronger or anything like that. It's all right.
All right, moving on to what they categorize as other items. Cool. I'll try to go through these a little bit quicker too. Sunderer, the base damage on the Spellblade is going up, but the target max health damage is dropping by a little bit. I think that's super good for champions with high base ADs. I know I mentioned like Alawi has a very high base AD. I'd be curious to see like a Darius going this. Anybody? I read a list of all the highest AD champions in the game. If you have anything to comment about these, feel free to let me know.
Honestly, no. I'm just happy that Divine Sunder is getting a bit of a nerf. You built that into a tank, and you just won the lane. It's unplayable.
Very strong item. Fimbulwinter. No one builds this because so they're getting rid of the passive where it consumes mana. So that's great. Free shields now. Yeah, because before it consumed like a certain percentage of your current mana.
I guess that's nice. I still don't expect anybody to build this item. It still sucks, but nice little change.
Might entice them to do it. Force of Nature getting a pretty sizable nerf, and I know I talked about Abyssal Mask way back when at the beginning of this episode. So this item is getting 100 gold. Is going to be 100 gold less. Give 50 more HP. Going to drop 10 magic resist to 60. The amount of stacks is going from 6 to 10. The Dissipate passive no longer gives multiplication magic damage reduction. It was like 25. It was at 20 or 25% flat magic damage.
Somewhere around there, yeah. As long as you kept taking damage.
Right. And then now they're just, when you fully stack, you're getting an additional 30 bonus magic resist. So it's totally not worth it. Takes much longer to stack. This item kind of sucks now.
Honestly, it was a fair change. The item was way too overtuned to start with. You built that into a mage. The mage just did 0 damage.
Just Abyssal Mask is so much fucking better. It's so much cheaper and just gives a shit ton more utility and more magic resist just for existing in a team fight. So very good. Gore Drinker, the gold cost is going down by 100. The mythic passive, which is bonus health, is going up by 25. Again, no one builds this. Tyler and I talk about Eclipse being just even with Eclipse getting the Omnivant removed, Eclipse is just still so much fucking better. I just remember when Gore Drinker was first introduced, it was really OP.
It was, yeah, but I think it just gave like insane amounts of damage, which was the issue.
It didn't give Omnivamp at the time, but like it had health regen. It had the lower you get on HP, the more AD you got.
Right. That was it.
The slash, the active was really OP. Yeah, it's fucking gross.
Right. It was a bunch of assassins building it. It was like part of the main issue, like Zeds and Talons and Kianas. They would just one-shot you and be unkillable at the same time.
Bullshit. Okay. And then the Ceaseless Hunger. That is a great name. The Mythic passive is just going up 25. I wonder if that's just a mistype, because that doesn't...
Yeah, it's exactly what it says above.
Well, whatever. Hullbreaker is pretty much the same, just changing a build path. It is going to give an extra 10 AD from 50 to 60, and now it gives 5% movement speed. Love it. I know when I was reading this last time, I was talking to Tyler, I miss Zerat Portal and old Omwrecker. That fucking Raptor Cloak item where you get movement speed between turrets. Loved it. I loved it.
I loved watching Trick at the time when he used to build these.
Dude, he would build that he would just first buy Raptor's Cloak. He played like Tom Kench top, and like when Tom Kench gets to like a certain movement speed and he starts like fucking like trotting, where he's like, he called it the glide. He'd be like, that fat motherfucker would just be gliding the lane. I loved that. Yeah, that him rushing the Zerat Portal just every game. That was so fucking funny. But no, I like this. I'm down to play this item. I felt like was already good if you're just committing to the the split push in general, but like, yeah, even say Yorick here. Yorick is fucking gross with this item, like especially with like Sunderer and just Hullbreaker. You're not killing this dude, and he's ending the game at 20 minutes. But yeah, this is gonna be fucking good. Moving on to Lord Dom's. The only thing they're changing is the Giant Slayer. The passive where you get, I think, up to 25% additional damage if they have 1,000 HP more than you.
Right. Yeah, that's correct.
So it was physical. Now it's physical and magic. That is big.
Huge change. Yeah. Huge change.
This will be great on, like, we're talking about, like, champions that build Rageblade, like Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw already does so much magic damage. This is going to be insane.
A lot of the on-hit AD carries currently don't build an armor pen item. So I think this is going to be a massive change to it.
They could build, like, Bork to do the percent max health, or it's the current health, right? So this is going to be really good. Lost Chapter is getting a gold decrease. It's 1,100 now, not 13. That is pretty big.
That is huge, actually. I think it's a little ridiculous that they're doing this, but they're keeping. What's the end of the build? Isn't the Rod of Ages called again? Catalyst. Catalyst is still 1,300.
Right. I think that's what they were doing to kind of incentivize this more.
Right. It is a nice little buff. I mean, most of the time it shouldn't make too much of a difference, but those few times where if you get pushed out lane early and don't have that much gold, you can still get that Lost Chapter.
I can't wait. It's just, yeah, it's going to be OP. All right, moving on to Maw of Malmortius. Gold cost is dropping by 100 gold. The Lifeline passive is getting increased from 75 to 90 seconds, and then the shield duration was 5 seconds, now it's 2.5 seconds. This is interesting. I could have sworn they had other changes to this, and they just didn't include it. Because I remember there was something to compensate for the duration drop.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't. It's probably on Twitter somewhere.
Let me see if I can find it.
Sure. I think it's honestly a fine change. A lot of champions could just rush this. If you're up against if you're like a bruiser or an assassin up against like a mage, and if you were to rush this, you'll just be unkillable towards them. You could do whatever you wanted for like the next 15-20 minutes until they eventually manage to find some sort of penetration. But even then, it's a good item. I think the item will still be good.
Fucking hell. I think it's on SpiderX's Twitter. I want to say it gave whatever the Lifeline, like, gives, like, AD, or, like, I think it gives, like, Omnivamp or something, right?
Yes, it does.
I think they, like, had it buffed, but I guess they got rid of it. Okay. Rabadon's Death Cap, the passive is getting increased by 5%, so it's 40% additional AP, or 40% increase.
Yeah, honestly, thank God. I think Rabadon's Death Cap, compared to the AP items we have currently, it sucks. Nobody enjoys building this. It takes so long to buy. The components are so expensive.
Sucks.
Yeah. Like if you're a mage, you don't really want this until like your very last item anyways, and maybe if you're snowballing, if you have the money, this will incentivize you to get a little bit earlier. Because currently all mages are getting like mythic and then what's that shield break AP item?
I know you mean. I fucking blink all the time. I don't know what you mean though. You do increase magic pen.
Right. Yeah, Death Cap has just been very unpopular as a mage item, so this is a very wanted change.
I need to see what it's called now. What is it fucking called? Not Horizon Focus. What the fuck is it called? I know what it is. 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 I don't know what it is. Hold on.
I got it. It's called Shadow Flame.
Shadow Flame. Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's like, Ludens or whatever.
Yeah, any Mythic and Shadow Flame is just kind of core for a lot of champions or any mage that's trying to do damage.
Cool. Moving on to Sterix Gauge. This one's awesome. The Lifeline passive is getting, I think this is like a revert, because I believe, did it used to give tenacity? I know it used to give increased size, but when the Lifeline triggers, you get 25% increased size and 30% tenacity for 8 seconds. Fucking big.
Yeah, nice change that hasn't been built on bruisers in like a year now, probably.
Right. I was talking to Jazzy is always talking about Garen and shit. And I'm like, you could probably get close to 100% tenacity with Garen. With your W, and if this pass stat, like, you can't stop Garen.
He's the new Mundo.
Yeah, so this is pretty good. I mean, it's good for paired with like, I think like Sunder in this are going to be good just because the extra. It's all those two items are all about base AD, right? Because it gives you, is it 50% of your base AD?
I believe
like increased. So, which is like usually about like 60 AD or something if you're at level 8. It's pretty good. Okay, Striderbringer, the AD is getting increased by 10, 50 to 60, and then Dream Shatter. That's a stupid fucking name.
It doesn't really like it's a cool name on its own, but it doesn't make sense going from Striderbringer to Dream Shatter. There's nothing about strides there. Because the whole point about like I like Striderbricker's original, okay, I don't like playing against it when they dash and slow you, but it made sense.
That shit was stupid.
It made sense thematically why it was named Striderbringer. Dream Shatter, it's kind of weird.
So the AD on that is going from 60 to 70. Trinity Force. Oh, I did see this one. This one I liked. So the threefold strike duration, where you have that fervor stacking of additional AD against turrets or champions. It would fall off at 3 seconds. Now it's falling off at 5 seconds. The AD is getting increased from 35 to 40. Attack speed is going up from 30% to 35%. I always loved Trinity Force. Like if I play like Vi jungle, I'd go Trinity Force over Sunder. I just like the attack speed. We're just being boomers now. I miss old Trinity Force where it used to give like AP and crit.
That
was fucking awesome.
I have been messing around with Triforce Ezreal again recently. I think the item itself is okay, but looking at this, I'm looking at Jax and Irelia building it again.
You still think it's better than Sunder?
I think it will be, and I'm pretty sure, and I've heard this from when I watched like some higher streams, is that Triforce scales better than Sunder for playing a damage champion.
Sure. Sunder is just the sustain.
Right, and it's been an overstated item, and it allows you to do things like pop. You can build Sunder and full tank and still do a bunch of damage.
I hate that. I fucking hate that.
Yeah, so I think this is a good change, and it'll be nice for those bruiser characters. And you know what? And we could try this on Darius again, and change like that.
I like that. And then the Infinity Force, the Ornn upgrade. The AD is going from 45 to 50, and the attack speed is going by 40% to 45%. All right. We can go through these now. Let's see. They're changing goal to make... Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the Fountain regen. This one was big. When you base the Fountain mana regen per tick, which was... It's every quarter second. 2.5% of your max mana. Now it is 3.1. So an extra percent. That is big. You're going to be getting to lane a little bit quicker. Because, I mean, sure, like, they're not increasing how fast your health regens, but I feel like, people will, like, spend all their mana, all their pots. They'll base with full HP, but they'll base with, like, no mana.
Yeah, so that's pretty big. Very often running out the fountain with, like, 85, 90% of my mana, and it's just like, I need to run back to lane as fast as possible. I can't wait for my mana to be fully stacked and leave.
Yeah, so this is going to be much better. I like that. And then this one got me a little scared. The home guard timer is dropping from 20 minutes to 14 minutes. So when plates fall off.
Look, I'm gonna say this. Like, we're boomers, right? We
oh my god. Yep.
We loved our boots enchantments and things like that.
The Alacrity, the home guard. What was the other? Oh my god, I missed those. I would first buy. Again, playing Volibear jungle, I'd get like Swifties and upgrade to Home Guard. I'd be zooming out of that fucking base season 4.
These changes are some real zoomer changes. They're trying to up the tempo of the game and get games to finish by like the 25-30 minute mark instead of our favorite 40-minute games. I think it's fine. I don't hate it, but I'm just being reminiscent. It's fine. There's no real issues with it.
Blast Cone spawn times are changing over the river walls. Initial spawns were 5 minutes to 5:30. Now they're going to 9 minutes, 9:30. So this is going to make dragon fights and Rift Herald fights a little more interesting. There's probably not going to be a Blast Cone to hop over and try to steal. So.
I love this change. I love this change because I don't like getting ganked.
Right, you can hop over the wall in the river too.
Yeah, that's really it. This makes it a lot safer for me to play out my lane.
Then moving on to minions. Except for the first spawn of minions, mid lane minions will meet at the same time as side lanes. So the minions going up the side lanes will be a bit quicker. This falls off after 14 minutes. And then minions that are currently attacking an enemy tower will ignore call for help signals to target enemy champions. So if they're fighting under... The minions are just going to be hitting the turret. They're not going to give a shit about you or whoever is fighting you.
This is a massive, massive change. This is an insane change for the game, I think. I don't know if a lot of players will like it. I'm okay with it, based on my playstyle, because I like to play out the lane phase very long, and I like to scale. I like to play a lot of scaling champions. But this makes tower diving a lot harder in the early game, because you're not getting that. Minions do insane damage early. They kick the shit out of you at like levels 3 and 4 and 5 and around there. So if you're setting up like a 3-wave, 4-wave crash under tower and trying to dive with your jungler, or
you're not gonna have all that help.
Yeah, huge change for the game.
How do you feel about the minions getting to side lanes quicker?
No, I think it's mid lane minions are getting to the lane slower. So what it is that like very often. Right.
Well, it says side lane minions will be sped up.
Oh, right, my bad. Yeah, either way, so a lot of the times, it's like mid lane can very easily shove in a lane and look for a roam, which happens pretty often in pro play. You see the mid laner getting a roam at like level 5 and 4. It'll be a lot harder to do that, because with the waves matching up, they won't find that timer for when the wave crashes and they get their shove in to come at the appropriate time for the dive. This is a huge change for the game.
This was a change, I think, when Tyler and I briefly talked about it, where I'm going to have to experience it in-game to understand it fully. Like, I'll probably be able to feel it better when I'm playing a game or seeing it, you know?
I agree. I also think one of the changes that probably wasn't talked about much is that, let's say you have a wave at your tower and it's, crashing. You can walk up and hit the enemies without having to worry about taking a bunch of minion aggro. So, like, you don't have to feel scared to trade under your own tower anymore.
It's very true. Very true. Okay. Turrets. So the champion damage to turrets, champion-based AD, it was the base AD plus whichever was higher, your AD, or 60% of your AP. Now it is champions that deal their total AD plus 60% of their AP. So it's both. You're going to be doing so much more fucking damage to turrets. That it's accompanying for, again, for, if you're playing Vayne or Varus or whoever with Rageblade, and you're going to have mixed damage, it's going to be able to do more damage to turrets now, which kind of worries me. Let's see, moving on. Turret plating. Did you have something else to add to that?
No, really, it's just those hybrid champions can push towers a little bit faster, a little bit easier.
Let's see. The plate rushdown resistances 20 seconds after taking a plate. It was 0 to 180 based on number of champions. That was 45 to 225 based on number of champions. So they're kind of compensating for that, right? Make it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And for tower dives, right?
Right. I think it's also great. Like, let's say you're playing mid lane, your Katarina or something roams bot lane, gets a double kill. Now they can't take 2 plates on top of that. They come back with a little bit less gold instead of, 1,000 gold.
Right. It's a little bit less worth, but okay. And then Unleash Teleport, dropping to 10 minutes from 14. And then the teleport cooldown was 240. Now it scales down from 330 to 240. Levels 1 through 10.
Yeah. Top laners rise up. You guys can be useful now.
Dude,
before the game ends.
I just remember, like, in pro play, like level 2 teleports bot lane.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
And then you could cancel teleports too back then.
Right. Yeah.
But that shit was nuts. It was like a super. If you think bot lane dives are bad now, just imagine your fucking enemy top laner teleporting
and the mid
at like
laner
5 minutes. Yeah.
Full 5-man dives at 3-4 minutes into the game.
All right, and we're getting to the end here, guys. Thank you again. And thank you, Aslor, for sticking through this.
Yeah, no problem.
Fucking insane. Farsight alteration. So X-ray vision. Farsight will now provide vision over walls within 500 units. That is interesting. I don't remember reading that. Farsight will now ping enemy champions revealed on the minimap. Shout out to people that don't fucking look at their minimap. Upon detecting an enemy champion for the first time, Farsight will ping the enemy champion on the minimap, expand its vision radius to 800 units, and then self-destruct. Wait. Does it do damage? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, this is... And I again, in my games, I don't ever see my fucking AD. This item... Or Farsight is so fucking useful for champions that are going to get, like, one shot. Like, just buy it. You have to wait till, what, level 9 to buy it?
Yeah, level 9 you can buy right away.
It's awesome. It's a fucking awesome... And this is even better. So you have less excuses to blame me, your jungler, for why you're getting fucking dove when you have your Farsight up, and the whole thing just... It lights up the map. It's like a Scryer's Bloom. Not as big, but it's 800 units. When they... Farsight will ping the enemy champ... Yeah, if they see it. That's fucking... It's big buffs. Big buffs.
Huge change. Great trinket change. Please buy it if you're an AD carry.
For the love of God. Do you remember when it was like a few seasons ago when that shit was on like a 40-second cooldown? It was really
you could
low.
Just spam it. It was insane.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. Okay. Oracle Lens. If the owner of Oracle Lens is actively hitting a ward, their team will now gain vision of the ward so they can completely clear it out. Okay, so that makes sense. Because otherwise you'd have to walk into the brush, right?
Right, yep.
That's kind of dumb. Oracle Lens will now have 2 charges. Big. The charge recharge time is getting an increase from 120 to 60 seconds. Now it is 160 to 100 seconds. That's fine. 2 charges, whatever. And then the duration is dropping from 10 seconds to 6 seconds. So you got to be a little bit quicker doing that shit.
I think it's fine. This will make some dragon fights pretty spicy when you're fighting for vision and just trying to throw down wards and see where everybody is. Support's going to be a little bit more important to make sure you get around and find out where those wards are and get them out as fast as possible.
I feel like this might make it what the fuck is it called? The lethality item that
Umberglaive.
That might make that a little bit high priority now. Even though that I'm stupidly OP. I mean, you see it in pro play, all the lethality junglers and stuff will be rushing this.
Yep.
I feel like that might be a little bit better to help clear wards now that you're losing 4 seconds.
That's true, yeah. And of course, the pikes and the Senna supports will be getting that as well.
Don't give a shit about ARAM. Don't really care about Mythic. Bug fixes. Usually just like to go through this. See if there's anything crazy. I don't think there is. Usually, if there's a crazy big bug, I would see it on the top of the subreddit, and I don't see it.
Wait, this is interesting. The third one. Fix the bug where Nico's passive disguise would break upon attacking if the monster that she was disguised as died. How does that work? Does it just show a monster dying, and you have no idea that it's still Nico?
I guess not.
That's really strange.
Do you know about the I don't know if maybe they fixed it. Maybe it is in here. Hold on. Let me see if Nico. Ooh, that was loud. Nico's passive. Let me see. Is that the? Hold on. I'll read it and see if you know if you've seen it. Oh, it is. It did get fixed. So check it out. It's kind of midway down. Where is it? It said fix a bug where in-game reporting would reveal Nico's disguise on the scoreboard.
I did see a video about that. Yeah, that was hilarious. That's how you knew she was disguised.
Yeah, you could be like, oh, go to report, and if she was like red buff, you would see red buff. If she was a lane minion, you'd know. Yeah, that was kind of broken. So okay, that's a pretty big one that got fixed. I think that's it. We got some cool Snow Moon skins, I guess, coming out. Morgana's getting her 7,000th skin in a year.
Oh, I think they showed the DRX skins today.
Bro, yeah. Let me look at those really quick. Those look sick. The Aatrox one looks fucking sick.
Yeah, he's getting like a prestige and stuff. It looks super cool.
Yeah.
As a side note, Snow Moon Varus, that's just a Aphelios. I don't know who we're trying to fool here.
All right. Yeah, Snow Moon's or the DRX skin look great. But yeah, that is it. Guys, this has almost been 2 hours, so thank you for sticking in there. Aslor, thank you for coming in here, and I hope you had a good time. You enjoyed it.
Yeah, of course.
We'll gotta get you back on. Gotta get you back on again. Yeah, guys, so if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, rate, review, all that stuff wherever you are watching or listening right now. Make sure to hit the link tree in the description. Come join the Discord. Come hang out with people like Aslor, and we talk about the game all day. Even though I think we hate it, we just, for some reason, still talk about it. And then also give us opportunities to play with you guys and just see any notifications whenever we're going live. I'm trying to stream more often. And we're also trying to look for people that can make Twitch emotes. We're trying to purchase some, commission some Twitch emotes so we can get those for people who, if they decide to sub, a little extra reward, because we don't have anything else. And it'd be cool to reward you guys for giving us primes or subs or whatever. But yeah, guys, we will be back on Friday. We'll be going over Rel's mid-scope. So we will see you again. And again, Aslor, thank you very much.
Not a problem. I had a great time.
All right. Later, guys.
Have a good time, guys.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like the video and sub to the channel if you haven't already. Click right here to see the previous episode of the According to Low Elo podcast. Click right here to see the most recent gameplay video. Thanks again.